you're drinking Dr. Pepper right now.
That's exactly right. That stuff is good. It's got sugar in it, and two doctors have told me that if I drink it, I will die, but they died first.
You are entering the Urban Suite with Dr. Lisa Lacan. Let's talk about urban issues plaguing our community. Let's talk about mental health. Let's talk about sex.
Hello. Welcome to the Urban Suite with me, Dr. Lisa Lacan. Welcome. Listen, tomorrow is the last day of the month for the first year. So guess what? In Jesus' name, we made it through month one. So tonight in the Urban Suite, what we're going to do, we're going to recap some of the stories that transpired in January, like the earlier part of the month. And then we're just going to have fun tonight because tomorrow is the last day of the month of the new year. Can you imagine that? Listen. These years are going so fast. I cannot believe it. We're almost in month number 2. So when we come back from a word from our sponsor, as well as our missing person, we're going to recap everything that we talked about earlier this month in the Urban Suite with me. Stay with us. We'll be back. All right, so we are back, and this is our missing person segment. Every Tuesday when I go live, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I always do a missing person, and tonight is no exception. So who do we have tonight? We have Mr. Darius Apaya. So Darius Apaya, he's been missing since January the 24th, 2024, from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Listen, you folks, you Virginians from Fredericksburg, Virginia, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to look at his picture. All right. I need you to share this information. I need you to do a thumbs up on LinkedIn. I need you to repost. On Facebook, I need you to like and share so it can get out there. This is someone's loved one. Darius Apaya, he's been missing again since January the 24th. And we are what? January the 30th? 6 days he's been missing. He's only 22 years old. He's a male. His race is Black. His complexion is medium. His height, he's 5'11". He's 170 pounds. His hair color is black. His hair length is short. And his eye color is brown. Look at that face. Look at his face. So listen, those on my audio podcast, you cannot see his face, but you can hear what I am saying. I'm talking to you on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, which will be ending soon. So listen, Anyone with information, contact the Stafford County Police Department or the Sheriff's Office, and that number is 540, area code 540-658-4400. Again, let me repeat that number. This is very important. All right. Area code 540-658-4400. Or you can get in contact with the Black and Missing Foundation Incorporated, and their telephone number is 877-97-BAMFI. Again, let me repeat that. 877-97-BAMFI. Let's bring Darius Apaya home. And BAMFI translates to 22634. Now listen, this is his location last seen. It says Darius was last seen on Mine Road in Spotsylvania County at around 2:50 p.m. He is described as 5'11", weighing approximately 170 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. Virginia State Police highlight that Darius's vanishing poses a credible threat to his health and safety. Listen, this is important. 22 years old. This is someone's loved one. He's missing. We cannot rely on mainstream media. It is up to you, my Urbanites, to assist in locating Mr. Apaya, Mr. Darius Apaya. So let's pray for him. And I pray that we have great news and that he will return home safely. All right. So we had a lot of things happening in January. We're switching gears now. So Mr. Producer, I have no idea what order we're going in. Tonight is going to be freestyle. So I'm just going to go with the flow because we did unfolded a lot of stuff. For the month of January, I actually came in and out on Saturdays, you guys. My urban nights, I came out on Saturdays. There was so much stuff happening. Oh my gosh, I thought my head was going to explode. I thought I was going to pull out my hair. But again, I have no hair to pull out. But all the things that we covered, very important. And all the things that we cover in the Urban Suite, they deal with our mental well-being, mental health issues, because everything starts where, my Urbanites? Where does it start? The foundation. What is it?
In the mind. Right?
In the mind. In the mind. Namaste, dear Lisa. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good night. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Love that hair. You can't pull out. I know, right? Especially the back. Y'all didn't see the back. I have a mohawk, right? So I don't know if y'all ever saw the back of Dr. Lisa's hair. I have a mohawk, and I give it up to my barber. She's a master beautician, master barber. Her name is Kim Polish Barbershop in Hampton, Virginia. Man, big shout out to Kim. She be hooking me up. All right, so yes, everything starts in my, and that's, yes. Listen, my Urbanites, I told you guys, I said if you wanted a free copy of a signed book of Seeking Safety, for you to email me, and Urbanite Felicia Jackson, guess what? She has her free copy. Yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I have more goodies for you all, but you all have to email me. Mine is faded all the way in the back. Oh, yes. I have my book. Thank you so much. You are so welcome. Thank you for supporting Urban Twos for Change, the Urban Suite. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for everything. I know you're going to enjoy the book, Seeking
Science.
Yes, I'm about to say seeking safety because I'm doing clinical stuff right now, and I'm like seeking safety. But yes, Seeking Science by Dr. Jennifer Payne Parrish. Awesome book. Awesome book. All right, so Mr. Producer, what are we going to start with?
Well, the main topic that we covered this month was the plagiarism. So really, we could start with the definition of that, but the story that I think we started with, that was, I think the first Saturday that we did was on Dr. Candia Bailey.
Yes.
So, but it was sort of in regards to the plagiarism. Then we, took that as a topic.
Right.
So
segue. So So we did the plagiarism because the former president of Howard University, Dr. Gay, she resigned as a result of, I guess she really didn't want to deal with all of the drama and the toxicity. And what was happening also, we're talking about Black women in corporate America and also in academia. So they found these documents and they stated that she plagiarized. So that was one of the first things that I talked about plagiarism. And I gave an in-depth definition about it and, why people do it and what you can do not to do it, to avoid it. So you can look at those shows. I'm not going to talk about that tonight, but this is the definition for my audio platform.
Harvard, she said it was Harvard, for real, correction.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Oh, it was Harvard. Felicia had said.
Oh, yes.
You said Howard.
Oh, Howard, yes. Oh, my God, yes. I have my HBCU shirt.
You're right, not Howard, Harvard.
Right, no, it was Harvard. Yes, Harvard University. So the practice of taking someone else's work or ideas and passing them off as one's own. So that was basically started the whole month of January. And Dr. Gay, she later, resigned from Harvard. So yes. And then what that actually, I guess, morphed into was the tragic death of Dr. Candia Bailey, who committed suicide, and she was at Lincoln University in Missouri. So we have a couple of comments because a lot of people were commenting about the show. If you didn't get a chance to see it, you can go to YouTube, Spotify, all of my audio podcasts, as well as YouTube channel, and just, typing Dr. Candia Bailey. But basically, this is one of the comments that came through. And this is something that I spoke about to the producer. Listen to this comment. It says, Dr. Candia Bailey was posed to be the next president of Lincoln University, Missouri. It was a conversation that we had many years ago, early in her career. As you read through her letters, emails, I observed that Dr. Candia Bailey makes notes that she was prompted during the hiring stage to not mention anything about wanting to become president of Lincoln University, Missouri. She was a passionate and loving person who would give you her last. And that comment is from Icy Heart 3259. If you want to read all of the comments, they are there. I did not delete anything. But this is something that we talked about prior to that comment coming through, that perhaps she was eyeing that position as being the president. And you just know, sometimes corporate America, those places can be full of bullies. Those places can be, very toxic. People can be insecure. Now, I don't know if that is the case or not. I'm just reading the comments. And then another comment says, that's what FMLA is. Now, FMLA is Family and Medical Leave Act, is for to make happen the reasonable accommodations that are needed per the employee's doctor request. All right. So FMLA is only good if an employer has, now it varies from state to state, but 50 or more employees. So say, for instance, if you are a company and you have 10 employees, you do not qualify for FMLA, Family Medical Leave Act, meaning that you can leave your job, it's unpaid, to take care of yourself or your family member for a certain amount of time. So it says here to make the reasonable accommodations. Now, reasonable accommodations is a slightly different than FMLA. Reasonable accommodations are the accommodations that you are seeking when you have a disability, and you still want to perform the essential functions of your job while you are presently doing your job. So you're not asking to leave, you're asking to remain, but your job will be modified, and it will be modified based on reasonable accommodations so that are needed per the employee's doctor's request. This is usually handled by a third party. It depends. It depends on the size of the company. It's usually handled by a third party to prevent discrimination, harassment, and violation of a person's HIPAA rights. It depends. Again, the size of your company. It depends how much money is allocated toward your HR resources. All right. So do you have any?
Also, real quick with that, like, look, one of those reasonable accommodations could be like if they had a what's the proper name? Not a security pet, but what is it called? You know, like when you have a security dog or a security.
Oh, yes. Like one of the pets, like a safety pet. I forgot what you call them, but yes.
Yeah, that's a reasonable accommodation, right? Like,
right, it can be. It depends on the type of environment that you're in. So it depends on, say, for instance, it may not be reasonable if your peers are allergic. Okay. Right, to the dog. So, it definitely depends, and you can't remove the entire staff to suit. Right, that's not a reasonable accommodation. So
if she worked in her own office, though.
If she worked out, yes, because people that are blind and visually impaired, they do have their animals with them, their service
pets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Now, for the service pets, you do need certification and documentation stating that that pet is a service pet. Because if you don't, people can bring snakes to work. Like they'll bring everything and anything to work saying, oh, this is my service pet. I get like, okay, yeah. We know how people are. You give them an inch, they take a yard. That's just the reality. So yeah. So the service pet, that is definitely accommodation. Now, also depends on the disability. If the person may need, extra bathroom breaks, if the person may need extra breaks outside to get fresh air or whatever.
Reasonable,
Those are reasonable because the truth of the matter is people who smoke, they take more breaks than anybody. Like they do. They take a break every half an hour.
Right.
So, all right, you have another
but those are all in the job description. So now what you might have been asking for was, we don't know exactly what she asked for, but whatever it was, I don't think she got it, right? Like she didn't get her reasonable accommodations.
Yeah, I don't think
she was making jokes about it too, though.
Right, I think they ignored her.
And they bullied her a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, that's what she said.
So bring up the next comment that we have regarding this whole situation with Dr. Candia Bailey.
No, is that the one?
That's it. This is interesting. I need you all to read this with me. Listen to the sound of my voice if you're not looking at me, because this comment right here is very telling about the world in which we live in here in this country. Now, I'm not certain how it is in other countries. I just know that Black women seem to be struggling when it comes to being in corporate America or going up the corporate ladder. So this is Tanya Green 77. She says, I will continue to post her story because unfortunately, I can relate to workplace psychological warfare because that's what it is. Reporting them, requesting FMLA, changing offices, it doesn't work. Then they try to break you, make you quit, or fire you. I just cannot let this go that they pushed her to harming herself. This is a gross injustice, and it's time we fight for our communities. As Black women, We are the voice of every other group here who is fighting for us. Dr. Antoinette Bonnie Candia Bailey, your voice has been heard. You are not alone, and your life was not in vain. Change is coming. So this must be a trend that's happening in certain sectors, in industries, in the workplace. I know I was bullied. It was awful. Awful. And then she had her sidekick flying monkey with her. No, seriously, because they roam in packs.
Oh no.
They do. They roam in packs. It was awful.
Yeah.
And the core of her bullying was she was insecure.
Right.
She was insecure about her skill set. And she was, again, fear. She was fearful that I was out to take her position. Yeah. And that's why I had the initial stance like, well, maybe Dr. Candia was eyeing the role of the presidency, because that is the key. Fear of people losing their position, fear of whatever it is, having control. People fear losing that control, because that control makes them feel important, because they have insecurities themselves. And rather than show the world their insecurities or be honest about it, what do? They displace that insecurity, and it comes through as being hostile. And it comes through oftentimes as being angry, and they project it at the person who is less than them. No one, for the most part, is going to bully the CEO.
Right.
You bully people that are under you, your underlings, the hirelings, the ones that, I can fire this person and that person can go away. But this is something that's really happening now. And I think what is going to happen, I think more people are going to be vocal. But the thing is, it's so difficult to prove, and it's so difficult unless you do have documentation. Say, for instance, like Dr. Candia Bailey had documentation and she requested these things. Now, what could have happened was she could have gone to EEOC, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and they handle it on the federal level. That's the federal agency that handles everything like discriminatory practices. Hand it over to EEOC if she really felt that nothing was happening on her level within the board, within HR. She could have taken it to the state first, but at that point in time where her role and position, she could have taken it to EEOC, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission.
Yeah.
So it was awful. I have to say it was very awful. And someone asked me what I did. I was laid off. And then they made the position disappear for a while, because, when there's a layoff, it means the company can't support that job. So you didn't get terminated, and I didn't resign. So I was laid off, and I was very polite when she and her flying monkey were in the office together. And I said, thank you for this opportunity. This was fantastic. However, this was the worst work environment I have ever been in my entire life. It was awful. They were gossiping about me. They were doing everything to try to belittle me, to try to make me believe that I didn't know what I was doing. It was awful. I said I never, ever want to go through that again. So I just prayed about it. I prayed over them. I pled the blood of Jesus over them. One has since retired. The other one, she left for another agency. She destroyed that nonprofit and it shrank. She was awful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked a little bit about that as well behind the scenes, about how there's two main factors with certain people. It's the inferiority complex, and they feel like you're more qualified than them. So, and that happens with a lot of Black women because they'll be overqualified for the position that they're in.
Yes.
Because you have to get all this breed stuff just to get a position that you're really overqualified for.
Absolutely. So from what I understand, the president of Lincoln University, Missouri, I mean, he does have the credentials on paper. He has a doctorate in education. But prior to him becoming the president, he was the basketball coach.
So, but he's a man and he's a white man.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. And you said it. He's a man and he's a white man. And he's going up in an HBCU.
Yeah.
So next month, I'm going to have Mr. Willem Parrish, who started a fantastic nonprofit organization, HBCU Greatness. And I'm going to ask him the question about does he think that a white person can be effective as a president at a HBCU? And he's going to talk about historically Black colleges and universities. That's what HBCU stands for. He's going to talk about that, talk about the mission of the organization, the vision, and why. The why. Why did he start this organization? So, yeah.
All right. Well, before we get into some of the other Saturdays, because then we did some more Saturday shows.
That is correct.
And we talked about some interesting topics that were going on social media, on TikTok and Twitter and stuff, blowing it up. Before we go in that, let's go back a little bit farther, because there's been an update on an old story that we did a while back about Flippy. Remember Flippy?
AI robot. Yes, these robots. Let me tell you about these robots. Yeah, let's take a look.
For this burger.
Okay, go ahead. Say what you're about to say.
No, I'm just saying, I talked about AI, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and how a lot of people are going to lose their jobs because of AI technology, because of robotics. And we're starting to see the evolution of these robots. So here's a perfect example.
Flippy the chef makes Spud spectacular. This automated grill gives the meat its sizzle. As this restaurant goes robotic.
For this burger, it would take about 120 seconds.
Cali Express by Flippy is the world's first AI-powered eatery. There's new technology outside the kitchen, too. A cheeseburger. Order kiosks use facial recognition to remember you, your favorite food, and how you like to pay. Then watch the robots work. No humans required.
Listen, did you hear what she said?
Yep. No humans
required. And then facial recognition. That facial recognition, let me tell you, that can probably go in the FBI database. All that stuff. I'm telling you.
But people already do it on their phone all the time. You know what I mean?
They do it on their phone, and they do it on the at the airport. But now it's becoming more. So now you're getting
used to it.
You're getting used to it. You're getting more people doing it, but no humans required. So, and I told people, even though, listen to this, they are increasing minimum wage.
Yeah.
Employers are opting for robots because guess what? They don't have to deal with FMLA.
Right.
They don't have to deal with leaving because a woman is pregnant. They don't have to deal with a slip and fall. They don't have to deal with a coworker being late. They don't have to deal with the gossip. They don't have to deal with the bullying.
Yeah.
So you have robots because we humans, we're so toxic.
Yeah, we're going to get into the toxicity in a minute, but we'll finish out with Flippy first.
We can't get enough people to come out to work on fryers and grills and their dangerous jobs.
Okay, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute now.
Not dangerous.
He said two things. We can't get enough people to come out to work on the grills, the fries, and their dangerous jobs. Now, when is dumping French fries? Now, I know the grease is hot.
He's going overboard.
He's going overboard. A dangerous job. I used to dump fries at McDonald's when I worked at McDonald's in high school.
Yeah, you're 16 years old, right?
I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
But it's dangerous now. So that's
right.
Oh, it's dangerous. We can't, you can't burn yourself. Ooh, the grease can't pop up in your face.
Man, there's a bunch of people on the fries right now. There's somebody on fries.
Yeah.
Fries up.
This automation helps solve a lot of those issues.
Alana, have someone? 62% of restaurants report being understaffed. Industry experts say most of those unfilled jobs could be done by robots. And in California, where the minimum wage for most fast food workers will soon be $20 an hour, fewer workers equals cost savings. Dan Ives is with Wedbush Securities, a wealth management firm.
Once the minimum wage went to 20, that's the bell going off.
Yep.
More and more focus on spending on AI.
What did I say? I said that months ago. My urbanites, listen, I'm just not talking out the side of my neck. Like I said, you don't have to deal with payroll taxes. Do you know how expensive payroll taxes are to hire disgruntled staff? Who wants to deal with that? What employer wants to deal with high payroll taxes, paying for disgruntled staff who come to work late, who don't have good customer service, I'll get a robot.
Yeah. Now, do you think?
You know what I think they're going to start doing? I'm sorry. You know what I think they're going to start doing? I think they're going to start taxing you on robots. The government has to get their money.
Yeah. Like payroll tax almost for the
payroll.
robot.
Yes, they're going to do that. You heard it first here in the Urban Suite.
But do you think that it'd be hazardous sometimes working in them restaurants? People be fighting, people slapping the person behind the counter and acting up. You've seen them throwing drinks on the people, and Waffle House be a fight every weekend and stuff.
Yep.
Now, do you think that will be less because of the AI kiosks and stuff? Do you think that will be less?
Absolutely. It will reduce your liability. It will reduce injury. It will reduce slip and fall. It will reduce being unionized. I'm telling you, them unions better. The unions better brace themselves, because unless they're going to unionize the robots.
Well, like you said, it's going to be HR for the robots. or what is it? Not human resources, it's robot resources.
Yeah, robot resources. Exactly. I'm telling you, this is something. Try to figure out an occupation that is not going to be the here and now reliant on AI technology, because your job will disappear like fast.
Because look, that's inflationary. That's the problem. You can't necessarily pass all that to the consumer.
Flippy can cook 250 pounds of French fries an hour. The burger bot, 100 patties.
These restaurants are very, very busy at peak times, and every second that gets added to somebody waiting in the drive-thru is a lost revenue opportunity for that restaurant.
Is it costing people their jobs?
That's not what we've seen.
He walking around with blindfolds. That's not what he's seen. That's what I've seen. Now, I don't know why he hasn't seen it. Where's his head? In the sand? What is he? What? Where is he? In the robot closet? I mean, come on. Not if I haven't seen it. Well, he must be walking around like this. I mean, now what's happening is Walmart, they are reducing their self-checkout aisles.
Yeah, and even ShopRite is like, only if you got 20 items can you go to the self-checkout now. They want everybody else to go to the
Walmart. They're getting rid of all of them. You know why?
What, because they theft or something?
Yes, humans are stealing. See, we humans, we so sinful. We just gonna get.
But look, all right, they got to balance it out between how much were they paying for staff and all that, payroll taxes and wages and all that, versus how much did somebody steal. So they got to balance them books and see what was what. So
they said, okay, let's bring the humans back in.
But so far at the Walmart that I'm at, it's all self-checkout. I mean, I never go to the person, like, ever.
Yeah. So if they start, doing their inventory and they see a lot of inventory missing, and they know it's from the self-checkout, they may slowly but surely start bringing the workers back. But then the robots can do the job as humans, actually.
At the checkout part.
The checkout. They can do that. So, yeah. So, yeah.
It's going to be Rosie the robot there.
Yeah, right. So speaking of Rosie the robot, you know, we had that Astro little dog.
Yeah.
Astro done went to Astro heaven.
No, he didn't.
Yes, Astro.
What happened?
I don't know. My good friend said maybe Alexa did something.
Sabotage. Don't tell me you sabotaged Astro. Come on now.
Yes, I think Astro just shut down. Astro was playing Teddy Pendergrass, and then after that last Teddy Pendergrass, Astro just
and he wouldn't come back on.
Wouldn't come back on.
Let's show everybody Astro real quick.
Okay. All right, so big shout out to Raquel. What did I say, Alexis?
Alexa.
Did I say Alexa?
Yeah, Alexa. Yeah.
I said Alexis or Alexa?
I thought you said Alexa. I thought you said
okay. I'm about to say Alexis is
just agreeing with you.
Look, that's my sister-in-law's name, Alexis. I was like, Lord, please.
No, Alexa, yeah, she agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Raquel, man. She had me cracking up about that thing. And my poor husband, he was so disgruntled. He waited a whole year for Astro, and Astro couldn't even last for more than 3 weeks.
Well, they, I hope. Well, maybe they're gonna upgrade and stuff, and
yeah, we'll
was
see.
A beta test.
So he had to ship it back, and then they're going to ship another one to him. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah. So we talked about, what else did we talk about this month?
Well, then we started getting into the nitty gritty stuff.
What's that?
Okay, we did the show about old girl got caught lying.
Old girl got caught lying. Oh, the girl. Oh. With the whole GoFundMe to $44,000.
Yeah, she was, up to no good. Evidently, because the police were the police came, the brick lady.
Oh yes, the brick lady. She actually says she was hit in the face with a brick by this gentleman, and all the men around that saw this happen, they didn't help her. So it was this great, huge divide between men and women, of course, in the community, Black community. Yes. Liar, girl with the brick. Yes. Let me put up this. Yes. Did you put it up? Yes. Liar, girl with the brick. Yes. So basically, they looked at footage, video cameras are around the club, and they said, no, this didn't happen. So this woman, I forgot her name, Rhoda or something, she actually $40,000 in GoFundMe.
42,000, yeah.
Yeah, $42,000 in GoFundMe because people were sympathetic to her cause. So apparently GoFundMe investigated, and then they returned everyone's money. And Houston, I think she was arrested or something like that. So let's see.
We were looking for her.
Yes, let's see what she's up to now.
Okay.
Support not just me but our entire community, because I cannot do this by myself. Not only am I a mother, I'm a full-time student and a full-time employee, and I have given the Houston Police Major Assaults Unit a confession video. I literally done all the work for them, and also gave them a confession video of Olan Douglas saying that not only did he assault me, but that he does not care. And there's also other audios that I have given him that he has said he wants to monetize this. He also said that he will never get arrested in Houston. And now I'm starting to believe him, because who does he have in his pockets when you have a whole confession video, you have hospital records, you have police records? Like, what is going on? I have left them over 20 messages, over 20 emails. And guess what? They will not respond to me or update me, but they respond to people and pick-me's and red pill losers who have nothing to do with this case. They don't even.
Now, what are red pill losers? What is she talking about?
It's an online community of people, but I don't think nobody was doxing her or anything like that. She's just, when people get caught, sometimes they start playing the victim.
All the time. It's the form that's perfect gaslighting.
Yeah.
Because you get caught. I'm sure, this is my take, I'm sure GoFundMe would not have returned money unless they did a thorough investigation. That's my litmus test. I'm sure GoFundMe is not just going to go off of TikTok or Instagram or what the people think or what the people. No, I'm sure GoFundMe spoke with the Houston police, the authorities, and they looked at the tape. They looked at whatever. They talked with people that were around. They did a proper investigation. And here she comes again, wanting to gaslight all of us because she got caught. And like I told you, Curtis, she's going to find another place to go. She'll probably end up going to London or someplace because I think she done, her welcome is done here in the United States. Yeah. She was in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. Now she's in Texas, maybe California, New York. I don't know, but she's going to flee Texas.
Yeah, because they were looking for her. The police were.
They were looking for her.
Yeah.
I don't believe a word that comes out of her mouth. I'm like, what? Why is she? Okay.
Yeah, well, that was her. That was kind of her update. But then I think like the next major story, I think we have one of these from you, right? Let's see.
This is Walmart's take. Walmart's take is she was in violation of their social media guidelines.
Right.
However, I think Walmart should have given her a warning and should have taught her the proper procedure and the protocol when something like that happens. Because now what it tells me is, of course, they're going to say, well, it's up to the employee to read the handbook. It's up to the son. We come on.
Yeah.
We have a very ignorant, I'm going to say this. Don't take offense. We have a very ignorant workforce.
Mississippi Walmart. Then another shopper gives the toddler a jacket in the Jackson, Mississippi Walmart. Then another shopper gives the toddler a jacket. Many concerned shoppers confronted her, but she said cops didn't do anything. The Walmart workers started to go.
When I saw the initial TikTok post, the Walmart employee in my mind fit the profile of her generation.
Because she posted it. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the story from the Walmart.
Yes.
So we have some updates on that story as well.
Yes.
So you want to check out the updates on that?
Yes, check out this video. This is very interesting. Update with
Walmart mother that brought her baby wearing only diapers in freezing weather. And when confronted, she twerked. She has been charged with child neglect and facing up to 6 years in jail. 26-year-old Cambria Darby is now behind bars. She was apprehended at Walmart car park after shoppers called authorities on her. The 2-year-old was still freezing and shaking even after another shopper bought him pants, shirt, and a jacket. The mom was also seen chucking frozen bag at him. The mother was placed in custody and charged with child neglect, and her toddler was secured in a warm police unit. First responders evaluated the child's condition, and Child Protective Services responded and ultimately released the child to an approved relative, along with his other 2 siblings. And the Walmart worker that interfered and shared the encounter on social media is still fired by Walmart. But people have donated to her around $29,000. But what do you think about this? And will the child be in better hands now with the relative? Make sure to like and follow to stay updated on this case.
All right. So the mother has made a public statement about what happened. She has been released. She is no longer in the custody of authorities in the brick and mortar, in jail, or anything like that. The children are still, she has 3 children. The children are still not, they are not in her custody at this time. So we do have a clip of the mother talking. I'm not going to go through the whole video because it's about 7 minutes long. It's a little lengthy. But again, you tell me, Urbanites, what you think. Now, if you're not familiar with this mother, single mother, the whole profile that I described, single mother, 3 children. She looks rather young. She was caught in Walmart, and it was very cold. Do you remember we had that 20-degree weather, 30-degree? It was really cold. It was even cold in Texas and Mississippi. We had a cold front. So she was caught in Walmart with her young child, and he only was wearing diapers. So the Walmart employee, she videotaped this whole interaction that the customer was having with other customers, and they were complaining to the mother that, you know what, you need to put clothes on this child. So the Walmart employee, she videotaped this, and then she posted it on various social media platforms. After she posted it, now she did contact authorities as well as other people, but after she posted it, she was fired from Walmart. So during that show, I pulled up Walmart's, their policy, their social media policy. And the employee, she was in violation of the policy because she posted that event of a customer, and you are not allowed to post confidential anything of a customer. She did not get the participants' agreement. She did not get the participant, of course, and there was a child involved, so she was fired. The Walmart employee, listen to this, she has raised almost, it's probably more than like $30,000. She has raised more in what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
That she has made at Walmart probably her entire time as a Walmart employee.
So was that a bad move or a good move for her?
I think it was a good move for her. Now, hopefully, what she will do with that $30,000 is hopefully she will invest it.
Mm-hmm.
Invest it in something, speak with the financial planner, and invest it in something worthwhile, something where you're going to get a return on investment. You do not, young lady, get a return on investment by purchasing a Louis Vuitton bag.
Yeah, that's she gonna get the bags and shoes.
You do not get a return or investment when you purchase, yes, Louboutins, Gucci, Chanel. No, please invest it. And also, if you're very passionate about doing this, working on behalf and advocating for children, if you don't have a degree or whatever, invest in yourself, take that money, go to school, maybe become a social worker or an educator, teach. I don't know what your skill set is. I don't know, but I'm praying that you do a proper investment and that the money is not gone in 10 days. Right. And people on GoFundMe have poured into you, and you're just, you know what? I'm curious. If I were to give her money, I would really want to know.
What's she doing with it?
Yeah. Like, what kind of ground am I sowing into?
Well,
background, I don't know.
The thing that she put up was that it was, because she got fired. I'm fired. Right. I don't have a job now. Could y'all help me?
Right.
So that's all she really put.
Right.
She didn't really say what she was going to do with it or anything like that.
Right. And she probably doesn't really know at this point.
Right.
She may not have assumed that she was going to generate
that much.
That much. But again, I think Walmart, they need to train their staff.
Yeah.
Because a lot of staff are ignorant. They lack good customer service skills. And I really blame management for that. I really do. So let's show the video of the mother.
Right.
You wasn't helping with a thing. You didn't help with a thing. You actually made stuff worse. First of all, you have a child that's dead. Rest in peace to your baby. I pray that God can have you with more kids, which I'm sure he will. He'll definitely bless you with more children. So as a mother, you should know what it feels like to have your kids away from you, have your children taken away from you. So right now, I lost 10 pounds currently because my kids are gone from me. I haven't seen my kids. I seen them now under certain restrictions, but like my son, he doesn't understand why.
So she has supervised visits. So when she goes to visit them, there's probably supervised within a certain amount of time frame. So people, are monitoring her. But at the same time, again, I'm praying that whoever's monitoring her, that they have parenting classes. Yeah. Because if you don't teach her, you have to deprogram. Let me say this again. You have to deprogram her mindset, because even though she's visiting the children, her behavior is not going to change because she has to unlearn certain things and put new things in there. So I'm praying also, like I said before, that she's going to and through a parental class so that she can be reunited with her children. The goal of the system is not for permanent separation. The goal of the system is for you to be reunified with your family, but you have to show that you are able to do it. Yes, Bridget says yes. That is right. That is the goal. The goal is to teach her to deprogram all the toxicity that's in there, to deprogram all the 10 generations of women like her that live inside her body. It's a long, hard process. And I guarantee it, unfortunately, they're not going to do that.
Like, he need therapy now. People, I'm getting like harassments and things like that. So that's what's going on with that situation. I know a lot of y'all want to know, that baby must be living in horrible living conditions. Horrible. If he's treated like that here, I wonder how he's treated at home. This is a period sign, a decimal of what. So.
All right. So she showed maybe like a little corner of whatever. Anybody can stage a room with toys. Mm-hmm. The true test is the bathroom and the kitchen and the bedroom. Mm-hmm. The bathroom, the kitchen, and the bedroom. Now, she did say that she makes her bed up and whatever, but she doesn't have much furniture in the house. So you can tell she's, bare minimum. But again, to me, it appears, and I've been in the field for a very long time, it appears that she has some type of a disability.
Developmental.
Yeah, some type of maybe learning or something.
Emotional.
Yes, she has like Bridget said, layers and layers. And yes, that bathroom. Yes, we want to see the bathroom and the kitchen. Those are true signs. Mm-hmm. The bathroom, kitchen, bedroom.
And so far, she hasn't said why she had the kid out with just the pamper on in cold weather.
And she won't say it.
She hasn't said she hasn't given any reason for that yet at all.
And she won't. And because first of all, she may not even think that there was something really wrong.
And that's the problem. Like, that's why she doesn't have her kids.
Right. So we have to educate people like her and really demonstrate to people like her the hazardous conditions, why that is a problem. Like, we really have to take her by this is so, you have to, and it takes a lot of patience. So, yeah.
It's nothing how y'all try to say horrible living conditions. Never that. Never, ever that. So, that's that about that. My biggest thing right now, though, is the false allegations that's out there about me. Not a bad mama, never been a bad mama. It's, my main thing, really, honestly, is just I miss my kids. Like I said, my baby hit me.
Bridget said we can't assume people have comments said, "Oh, Bridget, oh."
Yeah, well.
That's true. And then Raquel says, "I agree with you in regards to her having a learning disability." Yeah, she's a little there's something, she needs help.
Yeah, but she's just not accepting any responsibility like at all right now. Like that's my problem. Like
yeah, no, she's not. She's gaslighting again.
yeah, gaslight. Mm-hmm.
I mean, gaslighting, yes, gaslighting again.
Yeah, that's right. She gaslighting, like trying to make it seem like everybody was just against her. That's all I've heard so far, really.
Right.
So. He misses me, and my biggest thing right now, I'm gonna make a GoFundMe for gas because I'm under. I don't really want to talk about the case too much, but I can't see my kids.
Yeah, it is.
Raquel said that gum chewing is getting.
Yes. It was killing me the first time I watched it too. I was like, oh my God. I can't even listen to this. Like that gum is like crazy right now.
It's look between the gum and that fire alarm that keeps chirping in the background. I'm like, oh my God, don't you hear that chirping? Like chirp, chirp, like Raquel, that gum chewing is getting. Come on, have patience, Raquel. You can do it. You can do it.
And put a battery in that fire.
Right.
Restrictions. I want to raise money for gas for that to make sure I can see my babies and for indoor activities because right now we're not even in a safe space to even go to places. We can't even go nowhere publicly. Like you really ruined a lot of stuff, ma'am. Like for real, but
yeah. So she's blaming the Walmart person. Now, the flip side of that is I think the Walmart employee should not have posted it because people are wicked and evil and they will come after her because they're not going to look at her through eyes of sympathy, like through eyes that she needs healing, through eyes that this is a woman that is burdened with trauma. Like they're not going to look at her through that lens. They're going to look at her through the lens that she's a horrible person. Her children, she's whatever. They're not really looking beyond the shell. I went to this conference this weekend. It was fantastic at Hampton University. And what Dr. Nifley, that's his name, Dr. Nifley talked about boxes of trauma. I thought, well, I spoke with him. I said, Dr. Nifley, that boxes of trauma, we all carry and have boxes of trauma. And sometimes we unpack it. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we put those boxes under the bed, keep them closed. Sometimes we put them in the garage. Sometimes we throw them away without addressing them. And sometimes on those boxes, they're not labeled. So we don't know what we're getting when we open those boxes. Man, that thing was awesome. I got to talk about that conference too, because that was awesome, awesome, awesome. But they're not going to look at her through those lenses. They're going to look at her as a wicked, Black, single mother who deserves to go to prison, not look at her as if she deserves rehabilitation.
If it was actually done from the goodness of your heart, you know, the Bible says that you want to do stuff, you know, those who, when you do good deeds, you give to the needy, blah, blah, blah. I'm not needy, by the way, but you give to the needy. You don't do it, you know, like, hey, look at me, like how the hypocrites would do. You actually, you know, you do it in private, you know, to your Father that is, because you're doing it for public. It's for people that can see. You need to do it to your Father that is unseen.
I agree with her. And that's the posting part. When the young woman posted the video to publicly shame her. I agree with that. I said, I think the employee should have reported it to the cops, but she didn't have to post it. And that's the problem that I had with the employee of Walmart. Now, call me soft-hearted. I don't know, but that's my thing. I don't know. What do you all think? Do you think the woman at Walmart, the employee, should have posted this whole thing? Not reported. I think she should have reported, but posted. Do you think she should have posted it on the various social media platforms?
But just like you said initially, the people of this generation, that particular generation, have no boundaries or guardrails on what they post online. They post everything online. That's why you knew it was somebody of her generation.
Right.
Because they'll post anything. You know what I mean? Like, so that's not unusual.
Yeah, Bridget says should not have posted. I agree.
Yeah, but she's, you know, we're of a different generation, so we're gonna think about the whole posting all of your business online and other people's business online as well. But one thing I like that she said right there, she said, and don't get me wrong, I'm not needy. Didn't she just ask for a GoFundMe like 2 seconds ago?
She just asked for GoFundMe on 2 accounts, one for gas and then one for her children.
But she said she's not needy. What did she?
Right. So she's contradicting herself like so many ways. Just but that's
yeah.
So as the months go on, I'm going to keep you updated. But I really I was telling the producer, I said, I wish she was in Newark, New Jersey, because we would help her. That's what we do at Blessed Ministries. We work with everyone. We work with the courts. We with everyone to get them what they need. We work with so many vendors and agencies. Like maybe that's why I have a soft spot and a heart for her, because even though she's gaslighting, I can see through all of that. And she needs rehab. She does. This is a person who needed help. Yes. Let's see. This is a person who needed help. Bridget Jackson says, this is a person who needed help. It is clear something was not right there. The appropriate response would be to get her help. Yes. Get this woman help. Don't put her behind bars.
Yeah. That's a little extreme. Like, but then again, we don't know what else happened. Like, because they said 6 years. Like, I don't know what that was about.
Raquel says, sounds like a Blessed Ministries is coming to Hampton. Right? Maybe, hey, you never know. You never know. Whatever God wants. I tell you, whatever God wants. But that's my thing. But when you are endangering the welfare of a child, that is a felony, and you can get convicted of that. And then they're going to have to look at the other 2 children and all 3 to see. But if she's endangering the welfare of the children and they investigate and see, she could possibly do time. Yeah. And unfortunately, in prison, they really don't do rehabilitation. So she's going to come out even worse. Her children are going to come out worse. And that's the thing. We want to try to break this cycle, break the generational toxicity. You cannot break generational toxicity. Oftentimes, being far removed from your children, not being deprogrammed, and being in prison. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen is you're going to create another generation, because they're not going to have their mother. They're not going to learn. They're not going to have a father. And it's just a cycle goes over and over and over and over again. And this constantly happens in the Black community, especially Mississippi. Yeah. That's one of the poorest, if not the poorest state.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Now before we go out of here, I'm just trying to did we play this one yet? Hold on, let me just check something real quick.
So this is Walmart.
Okay, yeah, we played that one, but
what she saw and what I saw and what the customer saw was a child being endangered.
See what you're talking about.
Right.
Baby mom has gone viral for bringing her baby to.
We saw that one.
We saw that one. Okay.
Yeah, I think we did everything. Curtis, it's an hour now.
I know. Except
we got to finish on time.
Except this one. What is this one?
What's
what
that?
You derive to be your purpose and your goals in life.
And I think also it depends on where you are in terms of age, because people have children, but say, for instance, if you are in a relationship with someone who is turning 55 to 60 or whatever, they may have children, but their children may be very grown. Their children may be 25 to 30 or something like that. Whereas it may not be as much of an impact for you in terms of, dating someone with younger children.
All right. Now that just goes to the last comment right there.
Okay, Dr. Lisa, you mentioned something about submission and how you are now submissive to your husband and that it was a journey. Yes, it was a journey. Let me tell you why it was a journey. All right, so how I was raised, it was a journey. I was raised by a very strong, single Black woman, my mom. And my mom taught me that, of course, this is the mantra in a lot of our households, you can't rely or depend on a man. And I understand what she meant. Like, you can't, if you want to go somewhere, you have to learn how to drive. So, growing up in DC, most of us learn how to drive at the age of like 15, 16, like 16 or so, 16, 17. So, you can get around and whatever. We had a transportation system like the bus system, but it kind of ended early, but you just wanted to drive because that was just the thing. So she always instilled that in me. You want to be independent, you want to blah, 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 blah. So that voice of hers stuck with me for a long time. So when I got married, it was very hard because I wanted to do my own thing. And I was telling people, if you really look at the word submission, you're really under the mission of what the household's mission is. And you're under the mission of the leader of the household. So the leader, and I had to get this. It took like a little, The leader is my husband. My husband, Sean, is the leader of this household. So does that mean I am a floor mat? Absolutely not. What it means is he says, Lisa, I think for the family and for legacy, we need to do X, Y, and Z. What do you think? And then I'll say, okay, I think that's a good idea. Go for it. Now, if I don't like the idea, I will say, you know what? I don't know. I'm very hesitant about it based on X, Y, and Z. However, because he's the head, he can do one or two things. He can submit to me and wait a little while, do some more research, or he can say, I'm going to go for it. Now, if he says, I'm just going to go for it, there's nothing I can do. The only thing I can do is just pray, hope for the best, because he's not going to do anything, one, that's against the law. He's not going to do anything that would strip anything away. So I have safety in knowing that. So that's the safety. Yes, it was. He is on. Oh, yes, it was a millennial journey, but thank God for patience and long suffering. Now I'm in heaven. I didn't even know you were on. Hello. So yes, so that's how it is. And then also a soft response. I used to be like, I don't want to. Now I'm like, whatever. And I think I'm like that for a number of reasons. Number one, I'm older and I'm more mature. Number two, I had health complications. So I really monitor my mindset and my peace. And sometimes it's just not worth the struggle to increase my blood pressure. So I just humble myself and I say, okay. So like a couple of days ago, we had a conversation and he was like, the Indian restaurant that you went to with me, the people were arguing and fussing. I was like, I didn't go to an Indian restaurant down here in Virginia. I'm like, I don't remember an Indian restaurant. Like I would have remembered an Indian restaurant. He's like, no, I'm telling you, you were at the Indian restaurant. And I'm like, no, I wasn't, but okay, whatever. Back in the day, I would have been like, no, when'd you go? Who did you go? No, it wasn't me. No, it was because he said Jeremiah was there. I would have called Jeremiah. Jeremiah, who was at that restaurant with your dad? Was it you? Just to prove him wrong and to prove me right. I no longer do that. I just don't have the bandwidth. I don't have the energy. And I just, it's respect. But I had to learn that. So when we talk about submission, it's not being a doormat. It's really about being under the mission of what your leader sets for the household. And not only this household, this is key. It's not only this household, but it's for our great-great-grandchildren. It's for legacy. And that's how I think now, because earlier I really wasn't thinking legacy. But as you get older and as you see your friends, your family members get closer to the grave, that's when you start to think about legacy more and what's really important. What's really important is not me trying to prove that I'm right What is important is me trying to maintain my peace, me trying to maintain my husband's peace so that we can do this together for a long time so that both of us can see our great-grandchildren. We may not be able to see our great-great-great-grandchildren, but at least see our great-great-grandchildren together. So my job is to have him come and experience a peaceful environment. Most men are very simple. They want peace, respect, food, and sex. That's pretty much it. And I understand, and I that's what it is. That's what it is. Just being under the submission. When you go to work, whatever setting you're in, you have a supervisor, you have a boss, you have a CEO, you have a whatever. You report to someone. And then people ask me also, well, do you ask for money? Well, yes and no. Now, my husband gives me the freedom to do what I would like to do. He really does. But I don't take advantage of that. Because at the end of the day, I'm tapping into legacy if I'm reckless. I'm tapping into legacy if I'm reckless. Yes, legacy. That's it. I'm tapping into legacy if I'm reckless. So I'm not reckless. Now I'll buy stuff. I'll splurge and whatever he gets on me. And he would like me to shop at Costco when we go to galas. Now that's not happening. Now, you know, Dr. Lisa, I like quiet luxury items, but I don't go out my way. We're not going to go in debt. No, I respect it. And you know what? Now, one of the things I do struggle with, and y'all gonna have to help me with it. Y'all gonna have to pray for Dr. Lisa. I don't like cooking. I don't like cooking. I don't know what, I just don't like being in the kitchen. I feel like I'm trapped in the, I don't know. And I like fine dining. I enjoy fine dining. I enjoy going out with my husband. I'm a fine dining type of person. Dr. Lisa does not like cooking. No. That's why my husband said, you know what? He has to submit to that because oh Lord, no. But basically that's what that is. Me too. Who said that? You don't like cooking? Oh, see, there's another one. Yes, me. I just don't like it. I love fine dining. Thank you, Raquel. Nice definition of submission. Yes, that's what it's about. It's not being a doormat, but it really is about being under the mission of the household's mission, whereas your husband is the leader and you are there to assist him. You are there to make his life easier because let me tell you, I really would not want to be a man. I really wouldn't want to. Because in my husband's role and position, I'm going to tell you this. If I said, Sean, I no longer want to work as a man, as the head, he would say, okay, what do you want to do? I want to stay home. Now, I would have to cook. I would stay home. And then he would have to work outside the house. Work with all those demonic people, work with all those demonic spirits, and then come home. When your husband works amongst demonic spirits outside the home, he does not want to come home to a demonic spirit. His wife should not be a demonic, toxic spirit. Anyway, so yes, that's what that is, submission. But he's gonna come on every third Tuesday of the month. So he'll be on and then we're going to talk about this together. And both of us have definitely grown because, you know, like you said, we get older and you don't have the strength to be fussing and fight. You just, you know, you want to enjoy life. Yeah. Want to enjoy life. And I have to give a testament to my husband. I'm not going to cry. One time I was very sick and I had vomited And he picked up my vomit and didn't complain or nothing. Like, to me, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's taken, for better, for worse, death do you part. Can you stand the rain? Because when I was vomiting all over the place, he had to pick it up. I couldn't pick it up. I mean, it was. So, yeah.
Well, one last thing before we go out. Maybe this connects with what you were talking about with legacy. I don't know if you ever heard this story before. It's real quick.
Now, Sugar Hill was the answer to the problems of the Black Americans during Jim Crow Florida, and it was filled with Black prosperity from the late 1800s to the 1960s. The area was largely a byproduct of a Black-owned street line system connecting northwest Jacksonville with downtown, but from this spawned an amazing self-sufficient Black community. Now, Sugar Hill streets were lined with mansions and elegant homes that showed the power of the Black dollar, honey. Now, the upscale area was home to Black families, doctors, lawyers, teachers, ministers, Pullman porters, and more. Many also had ownership or also owned hotels, restaurants, shoe stores, banks, and more. In addition, Black men here pooled their resources and money and created the Afro-American Life Insurance Company, which provided life and burial insurance and mortgages to our own. This too would be a success as it created not only millionaires, but one of Florida's first Black millionaires. The area also had Jacksonville's first Black hospital, Brewster Hospital, and the School of Nurse Training. There was also Wilder Park, a 30-acre park that included a public library for us, track and baseball field, and a community center. This would all go down the drain during the 1950s and 60s when Sugar Hill was chosen for construction of I-95, the expansion of a hospital, and the end of segregation. Sugar Hill, everyone.
I tell you, listen, we had all those things, but we did not do policy. He who writes the pen and writes the policy, they do it to us all the time. All the time. Do you remember the show I did about the playbook?
Yeah.
About the LGBTQ.
That was like the first. That was like 2 years ago.
That was yes. We have to relive that because that was very powerful.
Like,
and I said that there were 4 things that we have to do. And one was law. Go to law school so that we can write the policies or go to a school where we can draft policies and stuff like that to protect, because it's the policies. That was a policy, a strategic.
Yeah, because that wasn't the only community like that. That was in Florida. There was ones in Oklahoma, Chicago, New York.
The other ones, they bombed them. At least, this one was a little cordial. The other ones, they didn't drop bombs. And it's ridiculous.
Well, they put all their houses up underneath I-95. Yeah, they tore up all the houses, that whole community. And the I-95 right through there. So
eminent domain. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. Every time we get a little, they want to take it in.
Yeah. So this fits and starts, but we can keep continuing on. So let's get out of here till next week.
Yes, until next week. Next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll be with me, Dr. Lisa Lacan, in the Urban Suite. Thank you for coming. Where you laugh, learn, cry, and grow. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, thumbs up. Thank you. And on that note, Molly, take us away. More fun. And it's like, oh my gosh. And then the thing is, it's suited just for you. Whatever you watch, that's what it knows. The algorithm is suited just for Lisa. It's like a fingerprint. Your TikTok is going to be totally different than mine. Yours is going to be totally different. It's a whole like, oh my gosh, it's incredible.